People, deluded, I'm back again. I know I'm late to the party, I know this thing has passed, but Hector Bellerin. Now, Hector Bellerin's the sort of player that gets the blood boiling. You either love him or you hate him, you know. And what I mean by that is, I obviously make my channel and I speak for the people that can have their criticisms or praise of Bellerin, but can see it for what it is on a game-by-game basis. When a man plays good, he plays good. When he's been poor, he's been poor. And I share a lot of that with Bellerin. My thoughts on Bellerin is that I love him as a player and as a person. I just don't think he's kicked on enough. I don't think he looks as all-rounded as we need at fullback. I know Tierney didn't have the best of games against Liverpool, but you know he's Mr. Consistent. And in the same way, I don't need to, if Tierney gets injured and Saka's not there, we might need a new left back. But I don't need to think about Tierney. I know he's giving me a minimum 7 out of 10, 9 times out of 10. Bellerin, you might give me a 5 or a 4. You might give me a 7. I don't know what I'm getting with Bellerin. But that's just my opinion. I don't think he looks good enough defensively. I don't think he looks good enough going forward. Ironically, and I would sell him if the opportunity arisen. That being said, I do like him in my club. I do like him playing. I like Bellerin. There's something I like about Bellerin. I can't put my finger on it. And one thing I admire about Bellerin is, first and foremost, football career is short. He recognises that. You see him becoming an investor. He's been an investor in several things, got several companies, very big on fashion. You know, he's become a director of doing something with FIFA now. I think the game FIFA, I don't even know. It's nice to see he switched on. Many people will say concentrate on football and do all of this. And he does the Black Lives Matter thing as well with the players. People will say focus on football and stuff. I get that, but a football career is short for one. 2, you know, it's only for a couple of hours a day. You might have double sessions, you might have tactical analysis, but footballers do have a lot of free time, you know. There's man, and Bellerin probably still does it, there's man that are playing golf, and then there's man like Bellerin that are trying to do things. And I've always admired that about Bellerin. I've always admired, whether I agree with it or not, Bellerin is not afraid to be who he wants to be, despite people, you know, mocking his fashion and, you know, his hair and all the things that are irrelevant, you know. As fickle as football is, if Bellerin done all the things I want to expect of him be on the football field, no one give a crap about his vegan diet and his hair and things. They're irrelevant. What if Messi turns around and tells you he spends every day, and it's not the same, but he spends every day, you know, he doesn't care about football. In training, he's on his phone and he's looking at fashion stuff and he's a vegan. Are they going to say the same BS they say about Bellerin? No, because at the end of the day, Messi's a quality player. It shuts up. As fickle as football is, when you do your job, it's amazing. Like, there's a guy in my team, in my Sunday League team, you know, it's a bit funny, but before a game, he a bit of a, you know, a Dutch cigarette, so not a normal cigarette. He does it, and we have a lot of problems with his professionalism and things. But at the end of the day, when the game kicks off, he's one of the best players on the field, you know. 9 times out of 10, he's giving you nothing less than a 9. He's doing his thing. So while I don't agree with that, and obviously if it wasn't Sunday League, he couldn't run that, what really can I tell him? He's doing his job. When you don't do your job, we look at that. And that's what I like. And one thing in life I don't like, though, is, you know, by all means, even with my YouTube stuff, praise and critique me where just, you know. Scrutinise my opinions by all means, you know. I learn a lot from you lot. I have one way of thinking. You lot might say something in the comments and I'll be like, oh yeah, it makes sense, you know. Let me see where he's coming from. And I think too many people in life and football, they want one way of thinking, you know. What they thought in 06 is what they're going to think of in 2056. That's not right. The game's changing. The game's always evolving. It's always adapting. Apologies, people. It's simply that. And one thing I don't like in life, like I said, you know, if you're going to get onto someone or hammer them or blast them, please stick to exactly what they've said. Please contextualize, if that's even a word, what they've said. Don't just, especially with football, you know, people take 30-second clips and 2 words of what a man said, and you know you can remix it up and master it and to suit any agenda. And we all know the majority of people are lazy. They're not going to look past what's at their nose. They're not going to go and ask, is that the full context? They're just going to see what a lot of people have seen, 30-second clips of Bellerin saying it's the normal to lose here. Of course, I don't want to hear that out of Bellerin's mouth. It does sound like you're accepting defeat to a degree, but that's not actually what a man said. You know, he actually said, we tried, more or less, we wanted to do a thing. Generally, for most teams, it's normal to lose here. And that statement, while it sounds a bit defeating, when you look at the logic, after that, prior to us playing Liverpool on Monday, they were unbeaten at Anfield in 60 games. 60 games. There's 38 Premier League games. 60 games, people. I don't know if that's in Premier or all comps, but 60 games. Now 61. It is the norm to lose there or drop points there. It is. I don't want to. When you hear that comment in isolation, of course, I don't like seeing players or people in life kind of killed or witch hunted for things that they didn't say or things they didn't imply. Like I said, the writing's on the wall. If you said something and you said it with your chest and that's exactly what you said, then people are onto you. Be on to them. They deserve that. But I don't think Bellerin deserved that, because he said Liverpool haven't lost a game at Anfield in the league in years now. To be fair, it is the norm to come here and lose nowadays, but we made it really, really difficult for them. Now again, I don't think he's saying it's the norm for Arsenal to lose there, because of course it is. But I think he's talking generally about football. It's the norm to lose at Liverpool. They've gone unbeaten there. I don't think that's him saying, while it does sound a bit defeative when I first heard it, it's not him saying, yo, we're just going to turn up and lose and whatnot. On the pitch, I saw that. I'm not going to cap. I thought, before you talk about Liverpool's tactics and the rest of it, I felt, and how good they were, I think we looked defeated. We looked like we were respecting them too much. We looked like we were nervous. We looked like we had no belief. No matter how good a team is, if you have belief, it can take you far. Look at Leicester. Did Leicester have the best squad technically? There's some great individuals. They believed that they could win that title. They had half a chance, and 9 times out of 10 they went into big games and got a result. Arsenal beat them, but they took us to the wire. I'm sure that season they beat who was it? They beat City. I could be wrong. Mahrez could have scored. I could be wrong. Have belief, you know, basic belief. Belief is what you need. At the end of the day, no matter how good somebody is or how much they've achieved, it's 22 players chasing a ball. Nobody's Superman. You know, Messi and Ronaldo might be the only ones that can claim that, but no one's Superman. No one is going to score 2 million goals in a game. So if you believe in yourself, man to a man, you show bravery, etc., you have half a chance. But what he said isn't bad. And then he said we had chances to go even, to go to 2-2 and make it a different game. But the truth is, right now, they're a better team than us. We're getting better every game. And there's 2 separate sentences. They are a better team than us. We are trying to get better every game. And we did have many chances to go 2-2. We shot ourselves in the foot. Our game management was poor. You know, we conceded shortly, literally. It felt like seconds after we scored. And then generally we conceded 2 goals in a quick space of time. You know, we conceded the last one in the 88th minute. But if you look at the spell, you know, they were coming forward. They were going to score. Game management. Players come and sit, not trying other things, holding your shape a bit better. We've got a long way to go. So yeah, Liverpool are ahead of us, Bellerin, but at the same time I believe if you lot showed your collective belief and spirit that you've shown in the previous 2 games, you might have got a more positive result against such. Even when we lost at Anfield last year in the League Cup, there was a bit more belief. We lost it because of stupid mistakes, but there was a bit more belief. And then he went on to say, the dressing room is frustrated. There's a hunger in this team that wasn't there in the last few years, and we want to win every single game. I'm not going to lie, Bellerin, off the field, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. On the field, that statement, I get it, I agree with it, but I never saw it against Liverpool. I never got the vibe that Arsenal wanted to win that game. I didn't. And maybe, you know, this is kind of caught up with us because we were quite poor in the League Cup against Leicester, and we got over it if we did play Leicester. West Ham, we got away with it. Fulham, we were superb. So 3 games where we've been a bit iffy, we got the result. Sometimes your luck runs out, you know. These are the things. I never got the vibe that we wanted to win at Anfield. I did not, at one point, no point did I believe we looked like we wanted to win that game. I'm going to be honest. Isolated to that game, Bellerin, I don't think that. In the Community Shield and at the Emirates, I saw a team that wanted to win, you know, and believe in themselves and being brave. And if a mistakes happen, they forgave themselves. But I never saw it in this game. You didn't look like you wanted to win. I don't agree with that. So I do think you want to win every game. I do think you don't want to go out there and lose, because I think you lot are a credible bunch of players. But on that field, specific to those 90 minutes, I never saw a team that looked like they believed they could win that game. That's just my opinion as an Arsenal fan. Moving forward, like you said, there's a hunger and all these things. I get that, but me personally as an Arsenal fan, I don't like the chattings. I don't like the chattings. Like you can tell me as hungry as before the game and after the game. Play like it. You know, there's still a long way to go. You know, the good thing is we've got the Anfield one out of there, and we shouldn't draw too many conclusions whether we won this game, which we didn't, lose this game, which we did, or draw. But less talking, more doing. You know, for years we've been chatting. I'm not saying Bellerin personally. Bare up people connected with Arsenal just do the chatting stuff, and the field performances look a bit iffy and whatnot. So less chatting, more doing. The doing is expensive. Yeah, and he said the room is they're frustrated. He said, we knew that coming here, all the odds were against us, but the team believed that we could come here and get a result. And again, if you believe that, fair enough, but based on how I saw us play, I didn't. And he said, for us not to get that is very frustrating, but we are not going to let this get to us. It's been and gone, let it go. We have been working really well. We have been getting results that people even believe we could get, and building on from the end of last season. I think the team is working really hard. Every game we understand each other more, and I'm very positive about what the season holds for us. And again, I can't disagree with what a lot of the things he said. You know, I agree with that. But the doing's expensive. Listen, I'm not going to kill the squad for losing against Liverpool because their game plan was amazing. We lost, we move on. For me, think about as to how you contributed. Before you talk about Liverpool, you contributed as to how you lost that game, because I think we lost that ourselves way before Liverpool scored, and how we can build on from this. Because if we're harsh, you know, the end of last season was great. The cup wins were great. Arteta's been infectious in terms of how he manages and whatnot, and that's created a, I won't say complacency, but a feel-good factor. But we need to remove the walls. We've got a long journey ahead of ourselves, and if we look at it, first test of the season, you had to go to an away ground you haven't done too well at, away ground where 60 odd games they ain't lost, tough Liverpool side, league champions, and get a result. While we can still get top 4 mathematically and we can still learn and things, you know, we failed our first big test, you know, because before we talk about clean sheets, lack of shots that have been here prior to Arteta and still persist, and many different other issues, you know, we needed to go into big games and get positive results. We needed to. We can talk about dropping points, clean sheets, draws, all the rest of it, but we knew top 6 games, especially away from home, we struggled, we bet, and we look at that game, comprehensively defeated. The only thing it looks better is that Liverpool shot themselves and conceded a long goal. We were outmatched, we were outclassed, we psyched ourselves out of it before anything, barely had a shot. You know, first 20 or so minutes, Liverpool had 4 shots, 1 on target, we had none. You know, you need to shoot, and that's a problem that is for another video really, but while I think we shot ourselves in the foot, I don't think Bellerin, you know, I see a lot of hysteria on social media and especially a lot of YouTubers as well getting at him and whatnot. And like I said, I'm not saying he's right or wrong for what he's saying. I'm saying if you're going to critique him, stick to what he said. Don't just clip up or clip or focus on a point that suits you, because we could all do that. You know, you lot, if you were really not nice people, you could go on YouTube and mix and match up what I'm saying and things, and I could go do that to other people. And we live in a day and age of that where people just see a 30-second clip and go, blah, 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 you can't say that, blah, 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 without actually stopping, thinking and looking at everything. If you look at everything, you consider everything, and you're still that mad, then go off. But you know, when you're just seeing 30-second clips, it looks funny, and obviously people run it for banter purposes, but it's not fair to get at him, man. And obviously we know Bellerin is someone some people don't like already, so it's always fuel to the fire. It's one of them, you know, let's get at him sort of thing. So I don't think a man should be killed for something he didn't exactly say. He didn't imply we're going to turn up and get rolled over. He didn't say any of these things. So that's what I believe anyways, but what does my opinion matter, man? On that note, people, DG, I'm out.